pit stop. It's a pit stop. Pit stop. It's a pit stop. Pit stop. It's a pit stop. Pit stop.
And we are back with our Purple Pants podcast pit stop coverage, our rewatch of Amazing Race season 15. And I am excited isn't the word. If there was some ice here, I would be crushing it. Okay.
You're introing me? Fine.
Sorry. No, you
No,
can. But listen, I got to show my people some love. But we're here, episode 6. My amazing, my talented, my resilient, my strong co-host, the winner of Amazing Race season 29, Miss Brooke Camhi. How are you feeling today?
I am blessed by the best, so I cannot complain. How do you like that? I stole a line straight from Brice. I'm doing well, thank you. And we are joined by you know what? You do it. I get to I love you guys so much, but Brice is going to be like, why don't you let me introduce them because they're so amazing and I love them so much. But Brice, get it.
We are joined by, there are a lot of teams on Amazing Race that I open my heart to. I am relatively new to this realm of Amazing Race, but the first team to have ever stole my heart out of his chest. We have Michelle and Louis Colón from Amazing Race season 34.
Let's go. And it's not a podcast with Louis and Michelle unless I do this. Hold on. I got to twerk on Michelle's face.
Brice, baby. We got Brice, baby.
So I do that all the time on our podcast. I just, put my butt in Michelle's face. But yes, we are so excited to be here with y'all. Like, this is such a great season to recap. And I know you guys said this on a prior podcast, but it was like so many things happened here where I was just like, holy shit, this was season 15 that this happened.
About it.
So many things from, episode 1 where a team got eliminated at the pit start. Just imagine like getting to the end, like getting eliminated. Usually you could say, oh, at least we had a good run, or at least we saw this country. No, you got eliminated in the sewers of LA.
Ditch, right?
It's horrible. Like, you didn't even start at the top of a mountain. You didn't even start like in a beautiful ocean. You got eliminated in the gutters of LA. Like, that to me was always like a nightmare. I'm gonna go off for a little bit on this season because it's such a good season. And then you have a Japanese game show. Michelle, that's my dream. I wish I could be on a Japanese game show. That is like my favorite task in the world. You have Zev and Justin getting eliminated because of their passport. I love that team. And then you guys, I haven't seen you. All right, so we're recording episode 6 right now. You guys don't have your episode 5 live on YouTube yet. So I haven't seen your reaction to that. Oh, it was so good watching Micah on top of a slide with her floaties and the Globetrotter saying, no, don't do it.
That was scary.
I
will tell you guys, it is
iconic moments on Amazing Race.
It is my favorite reality TV moment of all time. And I say that having been on reality TV. When I go back and watch these episode 5's recap, please, everybody. I go berserkus because it's my favorite moment. Brice called me no less than 11 times, 12 times when you were watching it, being like, is this really happening? What's going on? I'm like, just get to the last 8 minutes. Just get to the last 8 minutes. Yes. Although I will say, when you're saying episode 1, they didn't even get to start at the top of a mountain. I think that would have really pissed me off if I had to climb to the top of a mountain and then get eliminated and be like, I climbed a mountain for this. At least they didn't have to climb any stairs. I don't know.
The real question, Louis and Michelle, is if that happened to you episode at the finish start and you get eliminated, do you go back to work or do you still take your 6 weeks off from work?
Oh,
they were sequestered.
That's not happening.
Yes.
That's not happening. That's not ever a do in my book.
But yeah, they were sequestered in these seasons.
Right.
So at least they got like a 4-month vacation out of it. But like
that's like the rule. Either get eliminated first and get yourself a month-long vacation, or make it to the end, because otherwise that's just depressing.
Do we know? Is it like Survivor where you just go on a separate trip, or do they at least go to the other countries? Like, do they at least get the do you know? Like,
I think they
my season somewhere. They were sequestered in Italy. They had a villa in Italy with a chef. and fancy pantsness.
Yeah, everybody just went home on my season. There was no sequester. And then one more thing. I mean,
pop off.
Your boy Lance.
Wait. Before we get off that topic, Brooke, on your season, I mean, what you heard of, are you allowed to travel outside, or you just got to stay in that villa?
So from what I know, the eliminated contestants they were taken on like day trips. There was like a horseback riding thing, and there was like a beach day and a shopping day. So like they got to, but they didn't travel elsewhere. They stayed at this one location for every couple of days. They would get a new team, and they would like argue about who's going to be the next one, who's going to show up. And I think it would have been Cody's going to talk about Lance.
I love the red. Brice.
Okay, hold on, wait.
And then
talking about Lance.
Talking about Lance and his muscles. Lance is he has more energy than I do. Like, that man will run through a wall with an open doorway right next to it. Like, he is insane. You guys know I did martial arts. I own a martial arts school and did martial arts for 20 years of my life.
Really?
Yeah, and Taekwondo. And he's like, I didn't throw any kicks on my season of Amazing Race. And watching Lance, just like, I am very impressed by his speed at his size. He does very good technique for his kicks, but he wants to kick a snowman for no reason. Like, bro, what did the?
Can I kick it? Can I kick it?
Right? Like, what did the
But wait,
snowman
can I
do
kick
to you?
Also, keep moving. What are you doing?
Right.
Also, can I just say one thing for anyone who has not, and if you haven't, what's wrong with you? Seen Lewis and Michelle's podcast, Croqueta Chat. You need to go and watch it, because I will tell you, you two are damn entertaining. And at the Amazing Race finale,
shout out to Michelle's brother too.
Thank you. At the finale, Lewis is walking around with a little mini wheel talking to people. It is one of the best like YouTube videos I've ever seen. I was so entertained. Also, I'd had a couple of beverages, and so I was like, oh my God, this was really fun. We talked about this. We talked about that. It was so fun watching everybody who you got on video to hear what they had to say about their experiences, about who would you not want to race again, and why is that person so-and-so. Like, it's just so funny, and you two are great together. So everybody tune in, check them out. They're wonderful. And we'll put the link in our thing.
And well, let me
I
just
can't hear
plug,
Michelle.
If why they fix the name Mike? If season 40 isn't an all winners season,
But it should be.
I mean it should be, but if it's not, then we need Lewis and Michelle back on our TV screens for season 40, because
I think
they
that's
need to
an
stop
easy
playing with
pick.
us.
Mhm.
They need to
Easy,
stop
easy
playing
choice.
with us.
Sorry,
I'm
guys.
sorry, guys.
There
We
you
ran
are.
Sorry,
out.
guys. Can you hear us?
Now, right?
Yeah.
You can hear us?
my
Okay,
God,
good.
We're so sorry.
We're sorry about that, but yeah, we're wishing. I
That's
mean,
Fine.
Mike
We're a
Ross.
chaotic mess, honestly.
Yeah.
If something
That's-
doesn't go wrong, it's not her.
exactly.
I mean, that's kind of part of our podcast, as you were saying. Thank you so much for shouting us out, but it's complete chaos, and I love the chaotic of it, because it's kind of like us. But yes, I'm hoping 40 will definitely be an all-star season.
We'll
we
see.
just gotta keep those
We'll
fingers
see. I mean,
crossed of so many
I'm kind
things.
of tough on our edit. I don't feel like we were a team as memorable as other teams.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Listen, we're chaotic here, and guess what? I take no Lewis and Michelle slander, so they can go, because Lewis and Michelle were iconic. Okay, stop playing.
Oh, you got rid of them?
Yes.
I thought it was a technical issue. I was like, oh no, you'll learn real quickly that if you don't agree with Brice, there's a good chance you're getting booted.
You're getting booted.
I don't play about Lewis and Michelle. So,
We appreciate you,
thank
Brice.
you.
We appreciate you.
and then, because we're just having a love fest, another thing that, can I just share why I love y'all so much, is that I love how you have ingratiated. Did I say that word right, Brooke?
I don't
did.
even know
I've
it.
never heard of that word, but I know what
either.
you mean. Go ahead.
Okay.
Inserted yourself positively. There is sorry, can
There
you
is
pause
an
for a second?
echo.
There is an echo that's bad.
I'm
I got
talking
it.
great about us.
Oh.
You were saying?
And so wait, since we're having this love fest, here is another reason why I love Lewis and Michelle. Just the way that you guys have ingratiated yourself into the reality TV community. Like, I love, like, for me, when I'm in Philly, I love watching a Lewis or Michelle story with you and Claire, like Claire and Derek. right? With you and Joseph, with you and Jack. Like, I just love the friendships that y'all have made. And I just love watching it out. And so I love the fact that you guys are about community. You make friends and like, you're just as fun as you are on TV. So I'm so excited to have you.
And you're part of it, Brice.
Of course.
Brice, you're part of it. And that's why when you ask me, hey, can you do a calendar picture? I'm like, yes. And you can ask Michelle, I never wanted to be a calendar firefighter.
He said
I think that's kind of douchey. But I did it for you. And I did it shirtless for you. But Brice, honestly, like, this wasn't the plan. My plan was just to go on Amazing Race and win $1 million. I never thought I could make the friendships that I'd made through reality TV. Like, so many great people, and I'm just blessed to be a part of this family.
Yeah, and what we always say, like, it sucks that we didn't win the $1 million. And then this is so cheesy, but like, we won a little bit more than that with meeting everybody, because like, this community is like incredible. And Derek and Claire beat us. It's fine, but they need $1 million for them to come down to Miami and for us to be involved in this new world, because it was because of them that we met so many people in Big Brother and everything else. So it was great.
It's so dope. I love to see it. So, and I'm just glad that we are family. Now we're here for episode 6, and we got a lot to get into, because this episode, I said, what the hell is going on? And also let me cuss out some of our Purple Pants posse in the comments. I have not seen this.
We need them. What are you doing?
Okay, but listen, let me hold on, because I just gotta cuss out some of our posse members, because I
Not the glasses.
explicitly said I have not seen this episode. I'm watching these episodes as they reveal. Somebody in the comment was like, you didn't see who quit just yet. I'm like, quit?
It's not a quit.
But,
It's not a quit. It's not a quit.
No, girl, Brooke, we're not going to do this right now, but we can. But we don't.
No,
need
later,
to,
later.
Okay, because we
Fine.
can. Okay. So let's get into this episode, because there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you know what I love about these seasons is that social media really wasn't there yet. So you're getting like these true people without them worrying about like what they're going to get backlash back home.
For sure. And there is a lot going on with, every episode I have a favorite team that I feel like is going to win, because I do not know who wins this season.
Mm-hmm.
But at this point in this episode, Gary and Matt win.
Okay, you cannot say that every team is going to win. Every episode, he picks a different team so that whoever wins, he's going to go, I told you so, and he's going to call back to that moment. This is the 6th different team that you have said is going to win. And there's only 6 left. So
Smart man, Brice. You cut whatever you need to do, and look, you're gonna look like a genius. That's perfect.
You do you, boo.
Thank you. But no, I'm just saying, Matt and
I feel
Gary,
outnumbered here.
they haven't won on the matches yet, but like, they're a consistent team. They're strong. The way Matt just counted them bells, people was working together. I was like, oh my God, like, Matt is a beast. Okay.
And Gary running shirtless in the sand last episode, like, he was looking pretty good.
Yeah.
For a dad, you know? And he has good running form. He's pretty. I like that team. I like that guess.
He's smart and he's with it. But we're in Dubai, Brooke. Where are we going now?
Okay, so it was not a quit. So we are starting on Dolphin Bay Beach. He's going to get rid of me. He's going to bounce me.
No, I'm not.
Okay, I'll start again. Okay, it was not a quit. So we're starting on Dolphin Bay Beach.
Girl.
And it's a $12 billion. Oh, don't do it. Don't do
I'm
it.
not.
It's a $12 billion island in Dubai. So in first place, we have Micah and Kanan. I'm just kidding. Because they went home, because she can't go down a water slide.
Oh my God,
first
not
place,
My God, dude, it's so great.
so it's the best moment. I know, we talked about it last time.
I know.
Best moment in reality TV. Okay, so in first place, for real, we have Megan and Shane, who I'm also really happy about, because I really, really adore them as a team. In second, we have Maria and Tiffany, having had their best finish of the race so far last episode, about an hour and a half after Megan and Shane. After that, a minute later, you have Dan and Sam, and then Brian and Erica, Gary and Matt, and bringing up the rear, Flight Time and Big Easy, who I just adore them so freaking much. There's nothing obsessed.
One of my all-time favorite teams.
Yeah.
Flight Time.
Did I try and get them to make a video for you, Brice, about last episode? I did. Have they gotten back to me yet? They have not. Okay, so teams have to fly to Amsterdam in this episode, and upon getting there, they have to choose a marked car and drive themselves to this monument to find their next clue. Thank you.
I've also tried reaching out to them. They're like, and they're not like.
They responded to you, didn't they?
Oh yeah, Flight Time did, but he's busy doing seminars and stuff.
Was it Facebook or Instagram?
IG.
Okay. At least we made it to IG. Okay.
Yeah. And 12 billion sounds kind of cheap for making that whole island, no?
An island? Well,
like it's huge.
That's shaped like a palm tree. That's crazy.
Yeah, they're making a soccer stadium here in Miami. It's like 2 billion, and it's I don't know. Anyways, continue.
They should have used the contractors. No, it's fine. They should have used the contractors used in Dubai. They got a deal on contractors. Okay, so Megan and Shane.
But 12 billion in 2009 probably is like
True.
137 billion now. So
yeah,
this is true.
I mean, eggs were like $1.25 back then too. So
eggs, man, I can't even eat an egg anymore. What has happened to the price of? Okay, not important, not for right now.
I just need $35, but
let's just get into politics.
I would, but I feel like. So Megan and Shane want to stay in the...
Don't worry, I hate the fact that my hat is red.
Interrupting her.
I hate the fact that my hat is red, but it's a Panthers hat, okay?
Do you know that I own a red hat? And I actually said to my husband, I'm like, can I wear this anymore? He's like, it's not. It says Red Sox on it. And I was like,
I'm not sure if you can.
No, I threw it out. It's garbage. It was donated, but then if somebody else wants to wear it, they can. Anyway, it's been 16 minutes.
I don't know what's going on.
Okay. It's Lewis and Michelle. They bring the fun. It's a mess. I love it. This is how it should always be.
Continue.
Megan and Shane want to stay in the front. Good plan. Okay, great. They get to the airport. The flight is at midnight, so we know that everyone's going to catch up. So there's absolutely no drama going on here at all. But Maria and Tiffany have decided they're not going to get too comfy in second place because the higher you go, the further you fall. Say it with me, Brice.
Foreshadowing.
These two poor women. Okay, Sam and Dan. We find out that Dan has a degree in anthropology. He wants to keep traveling the world. Very smart. They have the best cab driver who's willing to basically run people over to get them where they want to go. I would never stop my cab driver from doing that. Why is he laughing? What is so funny?
No, everything. Just continue. Nothing.
He'll laugh about something for an hour, and it's like 10 minutes ago.
I keep trying to being like, is there something in my face? Like, what's the? No. You can jump in and stop.
It's probably just Brice and Lewis giggling at each other.
Are you guys messaging each other on the side?
No, but we should try to chat.
I'm just thinking about Lewis twerking on Michelle's head. Okay, that's all I'm thinking about.
Anyway, not important. Brian and Erica, she's yelling, but she's self-aware that she's a yeller. Matt and Gary, this is Matt's first real trip out of the United States. And Flight Time and Big AZ know that everybody wants them out, and they're the biggest targets because they're the biggest and the strongest and the best, and they're okay with it.
All right, I'll tell you why I'm laughing.
Please.
You are so organized on your podcast. It's so great. And Brooke, you booked us like 3 weeks ago for us. Like we invite a guest. We invite a guest on like, hey, can you come on our podcast? They're like, yeah, when? I'm like, in 20 minutes. That's what I do.
I've got the whole lineup right here. I won't leave
it
right at the bottom.
I love it. Continue.
She got the group messages going exactly 24 hours before.
Episode number, name of the episode, so I can tell people so they're looking at the right one because the first one was double. The day we're recording, like who the guest is. And the last one says surprise because Brice doesn't know who's coming on the last podcast. I like to surprise him, but I have to just hope. I just like last time we had Chip come on, and I was like, I really hope Brice likes Chip because all season I'm like, please don't say anything bad. Please don't say anything bad. So I'm monitoring everything that he says to make sure that it's all kind.
I've been good so far.
You've been great so far.
I don't
think Lance wants to come on our podcast, but other than that, I think
Lance could come. But we get to the airport though, and I love when we get to the airport and everyone's like, "What happened to Micah and Kaden?"
The best. This is the best.
And Big Easy's like, I had to tell him, don't do it, don't jump. And everyone is just dying. I loved that. And then I also thought, now I'm not trying to be mean. And I love this. It is Pride Month. I was like so happy that in 2009, Dan and Shane had this moment that they felt. Sam and Dan had this moment of coming out to everybody in the group. But I was sitting there watching the TV like we knew.
Everybody knew.
Right. That's like, hey, hi, Michelle Lewis, Brooke, hi, y'all. I just want to make an announcement on this podcast. I'm a homosexual. I like
No
men.
way. What? No, are you for real, Brice?
No wonder you don't want to be set up with all those women I keep sending your way.
Everybody back home is going to be surprised.
No wonder you asked Liz to be on the calendar, not me.
But I loved that moment, though. I thought it was great. And again, although 2009 doesn't seem like it's that long ago, but for them to do that in 2009, I think even Erica was like, have you said anything to anybody back home? And they were like, no. And Erica was like, well, they're going to know now.
My favorite moment actually happened 1 second after that, where Gary decides to chime in and says, should I tell Matt he's adopted now? Like
that was a good moment.
It's so cute.
That one-liner was amazing. So good.
Okay, so all of the teams decide to head. Well, jump in, man. Get in there. I don't need to be the only one talking. Speak up. Shut me up.
You're doing great.
You're doing
sweetie.
great, bro. You're doing great. Keep on doing. You do you, boo.
They're mocking me. Okay, so we're all headed to Amsterdam.
But quick question though, we saw the Tiffany and Maria foreshadowing.
I'm gonna write you a chart that just says this person
the
is
book
paired.
bag.
Yeah,
the rolling book bag girl.
This is why we keep looking down for that reason.
And not that it's in color too. I'm screaming.
We have a printer. That's how old we are. People don't have printers anymore. Did you know that? I told Derek to do the same thing. Derek's like, I don't own a printer.
I go to FedEx, but I do have a printer, but like I haven't hooked it up. But foreshadowing. Talk about foreshadowing though. With Tiffany and Maria, right? I did think that there was like, okay, that's kind of foreshadowing. But also with Brian and Erica, when they were like, well, I argue a lot. Brian, slow down. Brian. I was like, oh my, Erica, chill. But for me, I was like, is this foreshadowing of a Brian and Erica? Because, I mean, Brian has been killing it thus far. Erica has been Erica-ing, and I love it. She's a queen, but I was like, oh no, I'm worried for them. I don't think I necessarily picked up on the Tiffany and Maria foreshadowing. It was the Brian! And I was...
But to defend her, they add a lot of audio clips. So it's like a Brian! Like they're just walking through the airport and you hear Brian! Like,
kind of like come on, Dad.
Yes, like come on, Dad from 35. Yes, good point, Michelle. And I know I'm skipping a little bit ahead, but and then after Brian finally figures out how to put the car in drive, she tells him like if you're antsy, you know your mood dictates my mood, and you know I go crazy, and then it's like it kind of reminds me of us, because if I start being like angry and chaotic, she'll get emotional.
Oh,
so it's but Erica's a lot more like angry, like
Is it better if you state that you know what you're doing? Like, yes, I scream. So
maybe work on it. I don't know.
But like,
Does
also, if you know I scream, then you should already be expecting it.
Yeah.
Or try not to make you scream. Try not to make her scream.
Now, my question of the whole matter was, first of all, I think it was Maria, like, tell me you don't know how to drive a luxury car without telling me you don't know how to drive a luxury car. I really think, though, because when he asked the guy to come help him with the car, I really think that he just was used to, like, the like, I think it was going. He just wasn't feeling the shift. You know how in some of the cars you just turn drive, turn reverse? I just think it was in it, but he just didn't know what the hell he was doing.
Speaking of reverse, I think this is more embarrassing than what happened to us, where I didn't know how to reverse the car and my wife had to push me on national TV. But I think putting it in drive was like a little bit more embarrassing, because
I'm going to defend this a little bit, because I did get in my friend's car yesterday and I was driving. All cars are different. She had like a
you figure it out.
You do figure it out. Yeah, I did figure it out. But it was weird. Like, in order to reverse, I had to like push a button and push it forward or something like that. It was completely different. So, when you're on the race, you're a little bit more stressed out and
Race brain.
But you weren't driving for the race. Every car that we had a different way of going into drive, and I mean, I figured it out. It's a little bit tedious, but
what about reverse?
It was the reverse that I had trouble with. But yeah, I did the same thing that he did. Ask somebody how to learn reverse, but
you just figure it out. So even if he asked someone, he did it. You know,
that is figuring it out. Exactly. I see no problem in asking everybody for help, and if they choose to help you, then you take the money. Okay. Anyway, so. Wait, my favorite part of all the driving is Flight Time and Big Easy are in the car. And Flight Time says that the only person's name he's never going to forget is Brian. Because all he ever hears is Erica screaming Brian the entire time. Which I just think is so funny. And then, of course, it cut
they show that clip of them getting to the thing. And she's like, and mind you, Brian isn't even doing anything. Brian is just running to the thing. And she like, Brian!
Come on, Dad.
I love her.
Come on, Dad.
Keeping in mind,
there's this thing when I really like people, I would like want to grab them and be able to like stick them in my pocket.
Right.
Why?
I want to grab. I don't know why. I want to grab Big Easy and what's his,
Flight Time.
And stick them in my pocket and just like come entertain. Brice, you're one of those people that I would stick in my pocket too.
Yes.
People in your pocket.
Although, here's the thing though, we are giving Erica a hard time her saying Brian. However, what is I haven't been on Amazing Race. Everyone here has been. What's the rule? How far can you get ahead of somebody?
20 feet.
Okay, and mind you, in season 15, they seem to that 15 feet seemed to be different.
I think it was
all the rules. Maybe the rules were different. You've noticed how different the rules are. You have people like inside the team's cab helping them out doing tasks. Like it's insane. It's getting a little bit more organized.
I think every season they must add on a rule.
Wait until you watch an older season. Like it is crazy.
I mean, you saw 5. Like all bets were off. There was literally. You
that's right. You guys recap 5.
It's just if you get the rules and you're able to bend around them somehow. Each season, someone finds a way to go around it that was different from the season prior. So I think that's where they start to add more each season.
Look, if you're not the fastest and you're not the strongest, but you've read every rule forward and backwards, so you know how to take advantage of those things, you got to use your strengths.
I like that.
You got to use your strengths. And my strengths.
What are you talking about, Brooke?
Oh, it is me. I am weak and I am slow.
Lies.
But I know this game. So, okay. So anyway, slow and weak. Here we go. So at the monument, we have everybody except Erica.
Brian!
Oh my God. I'm going to go deaf. Okay. So because they're a little far behind. And that's me saying it. I am a yeller. Okay. Now they're on the way there. And so teams have to then go to, I don't know, this Martinitoren in the city of who knows where to the highest building to find their next clue. So everyone's going there and they get to the clue box and it says who has strong legs and keen eyes. Okay, so what the roadblock is you have to climb to the top of this Martinitoren building and count all of the bells that on the carillon. And when they have the right number, they have to tell the carillon to get their clue. Yeah, the guy who rings the bells. And if they get it wrong, they need to start over and climb again and count again and so on and so forth. The answer was 62. Because I wish I could just tell Erica the answer is 62. But you know what? Good on her because everyone starts to do it. Sam and Dan work together and they're like, we got this.
Sam and Dan. Megan and Sam.
Thank you, Megan and Sam. Thank you for correcting me. Look at this. All right, cool. They get up to the top. And in Amazing Race glory, because this is what the Amazing Race does, everything's calm, everything's quiet. They get to the top, and Jude starts clanging on all the bells. And these people are like, we can't hear ourselves think. We can't hear the voices in our head. And they're struggling. Okay, so Flight Time gets up there. Matt gets up there. He's working by himself. I see this. This is good play on. And Matt gets it right away, which is awesome. Megan and Sam, thank you, get it second and third. Tiffany gets up there. Look, it doesn't. If you have friends who are willing to just outright give you an answer,
yeah,
I got no
he
problem.
Should have been a little more sly with that, though. That was a little bit because Megan was looking at him like, bro, what is you doing? Like, WTF? And I really do feel like I haven't seen the rest of the season, but I feel like that could be the downfall of Sam and Dan. Maybe they get to the end, but I feel like Megan and Shane may not be that willing to help them because, well, maybe not because Maria and Tiffany are really race no more.
Right, no harm, no foul. Right there.
Yeah, maybe.
Although I do think what I think would be so interesting is if Sam and Dan were where Maria and Tiffany were doing the roadblock, doing the detour. I wonder. I don't really wonder. I think they would have done it. I think they would have helped them, and I think that they would have like rung the bell for them or helped them with the golf. And I wonder what. I mean, I don't think there's a problem. I don't think that it would have been a penalty.
Like,
I don't think that would have been an issue.
Maybe they could have like held it together.
I don't. But I think that's probably maybe the way around it. But yeah, it has to be against the rules for somebody just to ring it for them. Which we're gonna get there, bro. Which is freaking ridiculous to add that stuff, but we'll get there.
But okay, flights. Oh, sorry.
So for me, sorry. I think the way to help is to help without helping. So like, let's say he was to tell her something. It's around the 60s, like it's in the 60s, so that they kind of know, but.
You're
without really
helping.
But they have a really good alliance.
An answer for the roadblock. Why can't you do a task for them for a detour? Like, I feel like it wouldn't have been a penalty, but I don't think I think they could have. I sort of think they could have done the golf task for them because it said, and as long as Maria or like I don't know, it said each team member has to, like, one of the team members has to ring the bell. So maybe if they held the thing, I don't know. We can talk about it.
I think that's what it is. Like, even with the golf, is like she probably had to be holding it, and he could be on top of her, but she physically has to be holding it.
But at this detour, I wonder, like, if there's any penalty of how many times you could guess. Like, can you just go, 57?
Just stood there. Yes.
Nope, 58.
You could have guessed 100.
59.
No, they said, Phil said, if you get it wrong, you have to climb again and count again in his description. So you couldn't have just stood there and been like 43, 44, 45.
So
you had to leave. I don't know if you really had to climb, but you had to leave. So his thing said you had to climb and count.
When Erica said her knees were hurting, her knees really were hurting. But to Sam's, I guess, pat on his back, I'm actually not mad at the reason why he helped Maria and Tiffany, because essentially he's saying, we know we can beat them in the end, so let's give them this clue so that it will be Brian and Erica or Flight Time and Big Easy to Go Home, competition that they may not be able to beat. So again, although I don't love that, I'm not mad at the way that they are thinking. Like, that's really smart. Shout out to Sam and Dan.
Yeah.
Okay, so Erica says 43. Wrong. Do it again. She comes back. She says 56. Wrong. Do it again. Anyway, not important. We don't care about that. So after the roadblock, teams have to drive themselves to some place that I can't pronounce because Dutch, and to this windmill and find their next clue. You could try and say it. I can't. Sure. Vierhuizen. And I don't want to butcher a language because I know what I can't do, and I can't do that. So after the roadblock, Gary and Matt decide to ask a driver for directions. Fine, good idea. Sam and Dan and Megan and Shane decide to pay a driver to lead them there. Better idea. So they are getting ahead of Gary and Matt, and then they get to the windmill, and we have a detour. And the detour says farmer's game or farmer's dance. Thank you for that graphic. In farmer's game, you need to dress in a traditional Dutch costume and ride bicycles to this
dress in a traditional
Dutch costume?
Uh-huh. What's the next part?
And ride a bicycle. Ride a bicycle.
Okay.
Yeah.
To a creek. And then you got to get naked. And then you got to swim through the creek. And then you got to play weird golf with shoes on a golf like club thing, and then you have to hit through 3 holes, and you have to get an 8 or less on each hole, which sounds easy, but I actually don't think it is. And then you get your clue. Like, it's a lot of steps. But on Farmer's Dance, you have to dress in a traditional Dutch costume and ride a bike to this festival, and then you have to hit the high striker thing and hit the bell, and then you have to learn this dance, and then you have to eat a herring, and then you have to get, like, such a weird mishmash of things that you have to do on both sides of this detour. But what are you guys gonna do?
We dancing. Stop playing.
100% dancing. Oh, dancing all day. That's what we did in our season, and that's what we'll do for
I
any
know
future
you two
season.
would dance.
Oh,
two are
yeah.
excellent dancers. Yeah.
Yeah. We love that task. It's just like, but why are they making them do like such ridiculous stuff before an actual task? Like get in the water, get soaking wet, and then golf. Like
Wait,
why
but
can't they do that shit? Like get in a boat and be dry.
By any chance, did anybody research this? Is this like a tradition of some sort?
The weirdo golf with the shoes?
Yeah, or like you have to get wet.
Getting wet before? I don't think so.
Oh,
I mean,
I don't know.
You sounds like you'll get sick before playing golf.
You guys can
too
continue
much.
the podcast. I'm gonna search this.
she's
up.
gonna research. Do it.
Continue.
All right, producer.
I would love to do the dance side, except depending on who I'm paired with, there's no world in which I'm hitting the bell on the thing outside. So I could go and try it, and if I'm back with
But
Scott,
you had Scott. Yeah, you had Scott.
Let it-
Which unfortunately
Right.
for these ladies, I'm trying to pull my tag off because it's in my way. But yeah, it's just so dumb. Like putting a strength task. Like, did they try like putting a female in production to ring the damn bell and notice that it's gonna be hard for a female to do it? Like I just feel like this was a very poorly set up task. It had nothing to do with dancing, and I don't know. I was just really upset to see Maria and Tiffany stuck there. Like it was so upsetting to see that.
Tiffany
I agree.
got so close, and I actually think that the swimming probably has nothing to do with the golf because the ringing the bell had nothing to do with the dancing. I think it's probably two completely unrelated, just extra things.
It's not. It's
Yeah.
It was just some
it's
creepy
like farmer
producer.
golf. Yeah.
Yeah, they
Wanted
want to see
somebody.
Getting wet is
getting
not
wet
a
in white
required
clothes, bro. Like what
part
is that?
of the farmer
That's
golf.
good
I
point,
love
Brice.
it. It's not a
And
requirement.
I
Not a
like to
requirement.
thank the producer. Okay, whoever that was.
Getting
Thank
soaked
you.
is not typically part of the game.
It's just fun for people to watch.
Just an obstacle. Yeah. And it
But
was
then for
really
them to have to
cold.
swim back though, like that's the part that I didn't understand. Like you had to swim across, then swim back, then get dressed back. Like,
And you gotta take your clothes inside a plastic bag over there. Like, why? You have to cross back to get changed again. What's the point of taking your clothes? Like, I don't get it. That was really weird.
Okay, Erica tells the bell guy it's 58. Wrong. Go do it again. I'm just going back to where we were because she's
We're
still
still there.
out there. He's still. Everyone else is like way ahead.
shout
I
out
give
to
her
Brian,
so much
though.
credit because there was no
That's
point
where I
where
was
she
going.
said, "I'm not doing this. I quit. I want out." And shout out to Brian because he does say
Brian.
like, "Stop. Take 5 minutes. Let's just go over here. Like you're doing great. Like this. I love this relationship. I really, really do." But
So chaotic.
it's really fun.
He was
It's
so
fun to
sweet
watch.
to her, and you
He
see
really
him
was.
handling the situation so well. And then later on in this episode, she starts screaming at him again.
It's
Oh,
He's
and
like,
then when
my knees hurt. She's like, your knees don't hurt. You didn't climb the stairs. You don't
you didn't do as
understand
much
my
work
pain.
as I did today, Brian. You don't know.
I'm gonna be
I
deaf.
even loved Brian when she's in the bell tower and the producers are in his face and he's like, "She's close. She's close.
Yeah.
She's got it.
Yeah.
She's got it." Brian is a good man, and
Yes.
I love to see that because my good sis Erica was having a time this episode.
They had a
And-
terrible leg. Holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
And forgetting to take the bicycle, we're not there yet, but
No,
That's
okay,
I
we
mean
could be there. It's fine.
so that's what I told Lewis when we went on the race. It's like if I'm ever going through a difficult time, do not like get mad at me because I'm going to shut down. And that little
Right.
motivation will definitely help you to push through.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard when you do the race with somebody that you don't know because I am like you, and I'm like, if I'm struggling, just give me like a little motivation. Like I know I'm sitting here saying I can't do something,
I
but
know
I'm
I
doing
suck,
it.
but tell me
So,
I'm
but,
good.
like-
but you're doing
But
it.
like,
Yeah.
don't just be like, you got. Don't even say you're good. Just be like, keep going. You've got this. Like just a little of that. And my partner was he wants me to shut my mouth and just let him do it in silence. And so like I'm trying to help the way I would want to be helped, and he would help the way he would want to be helped, which was not say anything and let me just like focus. And it's just, we got there eventually, but it's not important. It's just,
I mean,
Erica
it
and
is
Brian
important to
did
the
it
race.
well. It's fun. Okay, so Sam and Dan choose the golfing and the yelling. I feel like yelling was definitely a requirement for those two doing this detour. And Sam goes in and he goes, I get the guy's outfit. And Dan's like, fine. Fine. So they're swimming across. Megan and Shane are so cute because they're like, you're so cute. No, you're so cute. And you're schmoopy. No, you're schmoopy. And whatever. Meanwhile, Erica now says 57. Wrong again. Go count again.
Peace.
This is where they're taking their.
Megan clearly told Shane, no, I'm not good at golfing.
She was clear.
Shane's like, I'm not good at dancing. How we gonna figure this out? And I'm sorry, I've seen enough Amazing Race. Sometimes those dances be complicated. It'd be like up, down, left, right, up, what, backflip, to the left, curve, stop, bop, bop, bop,
cha-cha, real smooth.
Head. Right, okay. This was like, wom, yeah,
chilling.
Like, I was looking at Matt and Gary like, what are y'all doing? When Gary, or was it Matt?
Matt doesn't like fish, so they're leaving.
But Fly Time's face was the best when it came down to the fish. Oh my god, that was so great. You guys know I ate a herring one time?
Really?
Yeah, so I was we had a cruise in Alaska where we were doing like a little fishing trip, and the captain goes, by the way, you guys don't have any bananas on you, right? I'm like, wait, I do have a banana. Here you go. And she's like, bananas are bad luck. You can't have a banana on board. And I'm like, oh my god. And I threw it like in the trash. And then she's like, I asked her like, what do I have to do like to reverse the curse? And she's like, you have to eat a herring. And I was like,
did it have salt on it?
It didn't have none of that garlic. It was just like what they used to like.
Full,
it was really small. It was like this big. It was like this big, but it wasn't the size of the ones that you see on this episode. But yeah, I bit off its head and.
And all those old people are just like, as they ate it.
I love how Lewis is like, y'all know this story, right? How will we know this story, Lewis?
Wait, I started the sentence like that.
Yeah, you did.
Y'all know I ate a herring, right?
Yeah, of course.
Oh yeah.
Of course we know that. Duh.
Was it bad?
It like herring. My grandfather
disgusting,
loved herring.
like sour. It was really gross. Yeah. Like they I don't know.
I mean, who was it? Fly Time? He didn't want to talk about it.
He
never talked about it.
But then he was nice enough. Like, I feel like, and also, was it Erica? I feel like they were nice enough to be like, delicious. So good. Like,
well, it's funny. He was like, I don't want to talk about it, but did you see us dance?
And then he broke it down. Like, oh, I love them so much. Oh my god, they're amazing. Okay, so Sam and Dan get out of it in first because whatever. Megan actually, for the first time, is sort of losing it a little bit. Still love them. And then so Sam and Dan are told they have to bike through town to wherever they're going, this harbor, to the pit stop. They get to the pit stop. They get first place. They win one dune buggy. I think it's something.
Why did I miss that?
They win. Here is a single sand buggy. That's the prizes. The old school prizes were like, what am I doing with a sand buggy? But okay. Right. And they're like, yay, sand buggy.
I think one time they won like a kayak or something, right, Brooke?
Yes, they had kayak. They won kayak. It's like what am I doing? I live in a landlocked state. What am I doing with a kayak? Bathtub kayak. Okay, so at the dance, Gary and Matt are there. They ring the bell. They do the dance. They're learning the dance. And then Matt says, I don't like fish. We're leaving. So they decide to switch detours so he doesn't have to eat the fish.
No, get out of here.
Get out of here. Anthony and Bailey is going on here because we know this is a challenge that Anthony and Bailey would have not switched. I already know Anthony and Bailey would have been so good at this challenge. So just
I love those boys.
Like, this is also a detour. How do you know that the other people aren't finishing the other detour right now and you're in last place?
That was very risky.
Eat it.
Yeah.
Super risky. And do they run to the other side and do their thing in? Oh, it's the same. Same costume. Okay, so Maria and Tiffany go to put on their outfits. Brice, a spider crawls out of Maria's shoe, and I would have quit the race. That would have been it for me. I was like, "There's a spider. I'm switching shoes with you. It's done."
Time out. Time out.
Brooke,
time out.
No.
Wait.
You're on the race.
No, I wouldn't have quit, but I would have switched shoes with. Okay. I would like, I'm wearing your shoes.
You should be a little nicer to Micah because, spider is
I'm
your
not
kryptonite.
quitting for shit. You'd have to drag me out dead, which I was almost, really, honestly. But I'm not quitting.
Also, Lewis and Michelle,
Brian.
last week's episode with Micah, did y'all see the part where like she got down into the pool and was like splashing the water on her thigh, like she was like trying to warm herself up to the slide? Like, girl, what is you doing? Okay, sorry. Shout out to you, Micah.
Sorry, I didn't watch
Such a great episode.
before.
Oh my God. Have you not seen the last one?
I have
Michelle,
a long time
just
ago.
watch the last
A long
8
time
minutes.
ago.
The last 8 minutes are just television gold.
I'm sure Lewis did a good job of describing it to you, though.
I have watched it before, so it's one of my favorite episodes on the race, not gonna lie.
It's perfection. Okay, so Megan is still struggling. They keep starting over, but Shane is being very supportive. He's pulling a Brian and just being like, you can do this. We've got this, not getting mad. Dan and Swim, they're done. Gary and Matt are done. Not important. Okay, back at she's still at the bells? Is this even possible? Oh, girl is still counting bells. Where does she even get out of the bells? Okay, she's not out of the bells yet. Anyway, Megan can get the golf in second. Maria and Tiffany are yodeling on their way to ring the bell, and they're like, we got this, we can do this, we're strong, foreshadowing, you're going home. So Flight Time have decided they're gonna dance, and here we go.
Love black people, okay? Because they electric slide everything. When they started doing the electric slide, I said, come on, Flight Time and Big Easy. Those Dutch people were like,
So now, sorry, go ahead.
It was probably the first time they've seen a black man that big before, too.
I know.
Oh my God, seriously.
The size of the woman who was teaching them, like,
yeah, and
she
that
probably
woman
wasn't that short, but like, you could
So
see
funny.
she had to like bend fully backwards to even like look
her
at them and
eyes
talk
was
to them.
open. She
I will tell you, the people on the
She was
dance
ready
hall
to
did
risk
not
it
have any
all.
more fun than when Flight Time and Big Easy. They were just a party for everybody there.
Yeah,
They were
Big
just
Easy looks
enjoying
very
it.
huggable. I just want to give him a hug.
Right? Don't you just? He's got like
Oh,
such a baby face. You just want to go over and give him a hug. Write me back, guys. Thanks. Okay, so anyway, Erica. 62. Erica gets the bell. So yay to Erica. She finally gets it. She's sitting there going, I don't want to be eliminated. God, I don't want to be eliminated. I know that prayer. I've said that prayer. That was the mantra of that prayer. Did you guys like have any moments like this?
God
where you're
didn't
like,
hear my
please,
one
please,
when
please,
I
please?
when I said that prayer. I must have said it wrong.
For us, we were really never in the back of the pack. Like, we were never like that close to being eliminated. Our worst legs were the first one, which we didn't know because it was a scramble, and then the last leg where we lost, the final leg, which we were in third. So
I think for me, it was more of the navigation, which he didn't know in his head, but I was freaking out about if we were going to make it fast over there and if I was choosing the right roads and everything. So in my head, 5 minutes of not knowing where I was at felt like an hour, and I always thought, oh my God, we're going to get eliminated. We're going to get eliminated. But it was quick. And then I was like, ooh, I did good.
and we were like the third car there out of like 10 people. We're
Always.
Like, what were we flipping
Tell
out?
me you're amazing racers without saying
Right.
that you guys are
For
amazing.
real.
We were never really in the back. We just sort of like showed up third.
Except the first episode, which
First
is
we had- yeah.
the scariest to be in the back.
No kid. So the first episode, we were in Panama and nobody saw anybody for hours. We drove the entire basic length of Panama, got to the end, had to turn around, and we're like, we're done. And I'm in the back of the car
Yeah.
going, please don't go home for that's the prayer. And then we finally get to the end and it feels like you guys are 4. And like I've seen it since then, but I go, how the fuck lost did everybody else get? Like, it's unbelievable when you just
Yeah.
don't know. It's so scary. Okay, where are we now? I'm like,
Well,
stressed
we're
out
with
about
Brian
the
and Erica, and
Mm.
still
Thank you.
give it like a good like whoop to Brian because he's still motivating her
Right.
as she's freaking out.
Wait, Erica's done. She's still counting bells, right? At this point.
She
She
got
just
done.
got the
She
bells.
just got
She
done.
just did the bells. At this time, Megan and Shane are checking into the pit stop. Maria and Tiffany are on try 29 of ringing the bell, and they end up doing like 40 something try. It's like really horrendous. As Flight Time and Big Easy are headed to the dance. So Brian and Erica have put on their little Dutch outfits, and they decide we're not going to read the clue, and we're going to walk to where we need to go in clogs in like Amsterdam. You don't want to walk in clogs. Like, they're not comfortable.
They're not shoes.
Right.
They're wooden
That
clogs.
hay is not working. The thing that pissed me off was when they realized that they needed bikes. At that point, I'm taking the clogs off.
And turn around and go get your bike.
Yeah,
Right.
that's what I'm
Just kept
thinking.
going.
Hold
Like,
the
I'm like,
clogs.
why are y'all still walking in clogs? Like, take them off until you get to, like, I don't know, but.
And then they ask for a random dude's bike. We're gonna return it.
Amazing.
Well, no, you're not. You
Well, they
literally
were so
can't.
convinced that they were last.
Okay,
that
wait
they were
a
like,
second.
We're gonna get eliminated, and we'll go return
We'll just return it.
When you saw that part, you're like, oh, that's a good idea. I should write that on my notes. That's what you said.
Oh, but it's not. No, it's not a bad idea. But
then,
the funny
wait,
part.
and then I was like, wait, when are you gonna return that bike?
Oh, but it's a lie that you're gonna return the bike. That's what I'm saying.
right back, I promise.
I would have done the same thing for sure. I mean, but
People, if you're
But if
listening,
they had
you're not
turned
gonna
around when
return
they
it.
realized they
Don't
needed
let
a
it
bike
do.
and they got the bikes and went with bikes, they never would have had a penalty. Because once they realized that if they turned around and gotten the bikes, they would have moved faster and had no penalty. But they did not do that. Maria and Tiffany have decided we cannot do this. We're going to go do the other thing. So they are going to go swim across the thing and go do the golf. Okay. Matt and Gary are golfing. They're doing great. Maria and Tiffany, not doing great.
and Erica's still
Bri-
counting bells, right?
No, she got the bells.
Oh, okay.
They're walking in clogs when they should be biking in clogs.
Hard as clogs.
But they're forgotten their bicycles. Flight Time and Big Easy are at the dance at this point, and it is just the best. Flight Time's like, once we got it, it was Soul Train, and they just like, honestly, they could have played like a beat over it. Like, it was just so like, there was such flow and such like wonder, and then they have to eat the fish. And we talked a little bit about Flight Time's face when he's eating the fish, but love them so much that he was just so like kind about it. And because there have been teams in the past that would have been like, this is disgusting, your country is gross, but they are polite, if nothing else, and he eats the fish nicely, gulps it down, and then says, never speak to me about this again. We shall never speak of it. Okay. Am I missing anything? Anybody?
It's just so great. Like, his face is like, he's like serious, but joking around at the same time.
Right.
Like, such good team. Such a great team to watch on TV. Like, yeah.
I also love their clothes though. Like, you can tell it's the 2009 era. Like, their shorts,
Big ass shorts.
to their ankles, and their shirts come down to their knees. I'm like, I remember when I was in kindergarten, like that's what it looked like.
That shirt would have been a gown on Michelle and I. It was like literally it would go down to our ankles.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm so thankful for all the other seasons where we've learned from that we don't have to go on the race in jeans and a shirt, because that is very uncomfortable. And with 2 backpacks and so much weight. We're learning, guys. We're learning.
A girl in my season wore cowboy boots.
No.
But I'm pretty sure they told her, because she was like a auctioneer and like a cowgirl. I think they were like, you should wear those boots to the start line. She's like, I'm never wearing them again. She ran the first task in cowboy boots. I couldn't have done that.
Yeah.
Good for
Awful.
her. So Matt and Gary have gotten their golf. Maria and Tiffany have decided, okay, we tried this one. We tried that one. Let's try this one again, and decide to switch again. They should have stayed at golf. Golf is gettable. Like, if you're not going to get the strength thing with the ding, you're not going to get it after 100 tries if you couldn't get it after 5 tries. But golf, at least there's a learning curve, and maybe you stand a chance.
Not
But
with that wind. Did you see
And not with
the
that
wind?
shoe. Did you see the shoe?
what would you do? What do you do if you're them?
Nothing. That's why I'm so frustrating to watch. Like it just sucks that why did both tasks had to involve swinging something? Like, what if you're just like not good at swinging shit? Like, and it just sucks. They go to the golf one, they're soaking wet, the wind is cranking, and they're freezing their ass off, which makes it even harder to finish that task. It's just unfortunate for those girls because they were cool to watch, but it just wasn't their day. It wasn't their task for them to do.
I think they were actually really close to the dance one.
Right.
When they
because
got back
at
to the
one
dance-
point in time, they were like, it almost hit the thing. But I wonder if this has changed any rules, because it's not really even about the gender.
Yeah.
I really think it's about the weight, right? Like, I think it's like how much you weigh would depend on how easy you can get it. But that's clearly something that they were not going to get, and I don't think that they should be penalized for it. However, is there a world where they just go inside, learn the dance, and meet Phil? Because so you can't even do that.
They
and
won't
take
give
a
them the
penalty.
next clue. They should have given a penalty. Oh, if you can't ring this bell, you got a 30-minute penalty or something
That's
like
what
that.
I'm saying.
There we go.
The thing is, I don't think they would have given them the clue.
They
at
wouldn't give them the clue
dance
though.
place.
But
Like-
I'm saying like before, like the notes would say, by the way, if you can't ring this bell, you got to wait 30 minutes and then do the
Oh.
dance or something like
They
that.
would've
You know,
still been
that
in
would
at
have been
that
a little bit
point,
more
yeah.
fair.
Yeah, it's very unfair because even in strength challenges, let's say you're like carrying something, you could slowly bring it down and take it back with you and go down. But this one, it's like it's impossible for her to hit it harder. Like
Brice said it, they were light. They're not as heavy. They can't swing it as hard. Like
I'm sure they probably never did a challenge like that again. I don't know. Don't quote.
I don't think so.
They didn't. They haven't.
It also makes you think, because this is season 15 and the evolution of Amazing Race. If I were out there, I would have went in that little dance thing, got one of them farmer guys, come sit behind me and womp, like, let's hit it together.
Yeah.
I honestly, given where they were, like what season this was and how Zev and Justin could have their cab driver basically help
them.
Yeah. I really do think they probably could have gotten a local to be like, do this with us.
Yeah.
And probably could have moved on. But I was actually looking in the background to see if anybody was walking by. They probably couldn't have gotten someone from the dance challenge because that person is
part of production,
like hired by part of production. I saw one guy walk by.
How about the guy with the bicycles with the guy
with the bike, right?
Grab him.
Do you have a hammer, sir?
Did you guys see the camera footage when they're like hugging each other and the
They're
camera's like
so
going
cold.
around? They're doing like an around shot.
You're such a photographer. You're looking at how like.
And then you see the producer trying to run away from the shot.
I didn't even notice that.
Like that's who's in the background. It was the
that.
producer. Yes, totally. So Flight Time and Big Easy are checking in at this point, like checking in Soul Train style. Like they are.
And Erica's still at the bells, right?
Erica got the bells. Brian! God love Brian! Gary and Matt. Okay, Gary and Matt are gone. They're good. Let's see. Oh, I don't even want to say it. Erica's in pain, but Brian's not in as much pain as her, and she starts yelling at him, and you guys are gonna yell. Don't yell. Tiffany's close, not important. Gary and Matt checking in for. And Tiffany and Matt are swimming again because they're going back again to the. I feel so badly for them. It's so painful, but it's good TV. So Brian and Erica get to the dance. Brian hits the ding on the first try. I really wish that Tiffany and Maria had been at the ding bell, like the hit the bell thing, when another team showed up, because
Brian and
Erica, they're not going to help. But if because they were far enough in the front that like if Sam and Dan had gone this way or someone, I do think that somebody would have helped them, because the Globetrotters, they want to get the Globetrotters out. I think maybe somebody would have been a little bit helpful. Or maybe if somebody was finishing the dance on the way out, if they saw them, help them, because they know they have enough of a lead and they're going to the pit stop that they're not going to lose to Maria and Tiffany. Anyway, not important. This is all speculation, and it's 15 years ago. So what am I talking about? Okay. So Brian and Erica start to do the dance, and this is what they needed, because for as crappy as their day was, like the two of them just have such a lovely relationship while they're dancing. Brian's kissing her hand. Erica's like, I fell in love with him all over again. Like they're very heartwarming, even if they're a little bit chaotic.
But that's when you fell in love with him. It wasn't in the prior task where you were taking forever and he was being very patient. He was very, very understanding. He was motivating you. He didn't fall in love with him then, but okay. All right.
That is an excellent point. So Tiffany and Maria are not taking my headphones out for the next one of these. It's cruelty. Oh my god, that was mean. It's mean. Okay, so now Tiffany and Maria are back golfing again. So they have swam back, swam again, and they've decided to start golfing. They're on try 16 of golf, and the team that didn't have bicycles decided they're going to ask the local guy for a bicycle, which he gives them, and they get to the pit stop, and they are in 5th place, but they get a 30-minute penalty because they were not biking the entire time. They should have just turned around and got bicycles in the first place, but whatever, not important. They wait while they're waiting out their penalty. Maria and Tiffany are freezing on the golf course, but still attempting to golf. I want to just be really, really clear that they're still golfing. Okay. Just saying. Okay. Anyway, once everybody has checked in,
30 minutes.
They're in.
30
That's
minutes.
done. Everyone else is checked in, and Phil decides that he is going to go tell Maria and Tiffany that the race is over.
So, okay.
Yeah.
Hold on, because we need to.
I think I'm gonna be on Brice's side.
Yeah.
I don't even know what's going on.
Yeah, I think he's been saying this since the beginning.
So listen. So let's just make sure we tell the story for the listeners. Okay, Brian and Erica. 5th place, 30 minutes.
Correct.
Phil says, come check in. Erica says, Brian! We did it.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Okay.
Then
Oh, you put a slide?
No,
That's
girl,
not
yeah,
okay.
I got
whatever.
time. So
That's
listen,
fine
so
because
before,
I'm
like,
gonna lawyer
no,
the hell out of you. Go ahead.
Oh, girl, and guess what? I have evidence and I've got witnesses. So wait, before we even get there,
Witnesses.
Lewis and Michelle, what is your definition of a fill elimination?
Say it right
Fill elimination.
or pay the price. Elimination.
Elimination.
There it is. Now we can have the discussion.
Okay, well, here's the thing. I heard them say we're going to quit.
Thank you.
Agree. I agree.
Thank you.
That's
Thank
not
you.
it.
Yes.
I'm in your pocket. Thank you.
And when Phil went up to them, he said, I heard
I
you girls want to
understand.
quit.
It's-
Okay. Bear with me for 1 second because I took transcription. I just want to be really
you
clear.
did. Oh, wait,
I
girl.
did.
I got some. Oh, you did, girl. Hold on. Wait 1 second. Okay. Go ahead. Read your transcript.
From the beginning, Phil, they are golfing. They're on the golf course.
Mhm.
Okay. And Phil walks over, and everyone else is checked in at this point. We all agree on that. And Phil walks up to them on the course and says, Maria and Tiffany, I understand you want to give up on the race.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
And Tiffany says, we don't want to give up on the race. But we don't foresee that we'll be able to finish the challenge with this weather. But hold on. She says flat out, we don't want to give up, but we don't think we're going to be able to finish. She does say we're quitting the race, and we understand we'll be eliminated. However, here's the thing. I want to be really clear. This conversation never should have happened because you cannot quit the race. No, unfair. You have to let me finish. Let me finish. You cannot quit the race when everyone else has checked in. You're out. That's like your boss saying you're fired and you're like, okay, I quit. You can't quit after being fired. It's like the race. It's like if the boss says to you, the company's
is
making
this the transcript? I thought you were reading the transcript. Are you reading the transcript?
was
Because this
the
sounds a little different than the
Hold on.
transcript.
It's like your boss saying we're making cuts in your department and all the spots are filled, so you're fired, and you go, I quit. This is the race is making cuts. There are 5 spots. Those spots have been filled. And so you cannot quit once there are no spots left.
So no, that's like that's the boss coming in there saying, "Hey, Brooke, hey, Brooke, the spots are filled. What you want to do? Do you want to resign?"
No, this is not what do you want to do. There's no spots. You're out.
Okay,
There's no
so
room
Your
for
Honor,
you anymore.
Your Honor, Lewis, Your Honor, Lewis, can I please speak?
Go ahead. Yes, Brice.
Thank you. Thank you, Lewis. Thank you.
Order.
Thank you. I'd like to submit evidence A32 to the docket, please.
It's going to be her saying we quit, but it doesn't matter because there were no spots.
Brian,
can you?
Lewis, Your Honor, Lewis, can you please?
Can you bring in a witness?
I'm down here.
Bring in your witness.
Lewis, can you please instruct the prosecution to be quiet while I am speaking?
You will be contempt from court. Is that the word? Contempt?
Yes.
No.
Contempt.
I don't think so.
What is it use it to kick your ass out? What is it? Contempt. I'll put you in contempt, bro.
Exile.
That's right. You're right. You're
Lewis,
good.
go to her to count.
And also, might I say, the two of you look very
Your Honor.
Okay, wait. I have a question. Well, not a question. I have a statement.
Okay.
I'll put you in contempt. Continue, Brice.
Thank you.
I'm on Bryce's side.
Thank you.
Yes.
I like
Of course.
to show evidence A1 to the. I'd like to present some evidence. Hold on, give me a.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
I understand that you want to give up on the race.
We don't
Hold
wanna
on,
give
wait.
up on the race. We
Hold
don't.
on.
Over the part where she says we don't want to give up. Go ahead. Keep going.
Hold on, wait. There's a lot going on.
Maria and Tiffany, I understand that you want to give up on the race.
We don't want to give up on the race, but we do not foresee that we'll be able to finish this challenge with this weather. We are quitting the race, and as a result, we understand we'll be eliminated.
You cannot quit once everyone else.
Order!
Thank you.
Not just this challenge.
We are quitting the race. So again, that's like your job. That's like you stole some pretzels from your job. They got it on video. They bring you into the office. They say, "Hey, you see this video? We gonna give you the option. You want to resign?"
But he's
or
not
do we
giving
need
them
to
an
fire you?"
option.
He is.
Hold on.
Him going out there saying,
Okay,
I
wait.
understand.
Okay, hold on. Let me just say one thing, because honestly, if he had said to them, if he was giving them the option and they said, we don't want to quit, he would have said, well, tough boops, because everyone else has already checked in. You cannot quit. Everyone
I
is checked
understand
in.
you want to quit.
Okay.
It's him giving them the option. Yes.
Okay, wait.
Order, side
so
counsel.
Being on the race, right? You never know where anybody is, right? On the race. So I feel like they told the producers, we want to quit. Like, there's no way that we can do this. We don't want to quit, but there's no way they can do this. Because when they told Phil, they said, we understand we might be eliminated from the race. So they don't know that the other people have finished.
I agree
so they
with
quit.
all of that. I hear what you're saying, but what I'm saying is, you know how many people on this race have been like, I'm done, I quit, whatever. Everyone else has already checked in. There is a team out on the course. Phil goes to meet them on the course. That team is eliminated at that time, because if Maria and Tiffany said, we don't want to quit, we want to keep trying, the next sentence out of Phil's mouth is, well, you can't keep trying because everyone else has already checked in.
I don't think Phil would have gone out there if they didn't say, I want to quit. Because it was still daytime. No, it was still daytime. It wasn't nighttime yet. They weren't trying.
That's interesting. That's actually interesting, but he did go out there.
And guess what?
Because they said they quit.
Thank you.
But here's the thing.
Nick, the Files brothers last season, they didn't quit. Jack and Carson got done. Phil came out there and he eliminated them. So all I am saying to all the people out there.
I love what you just said, because you lose. This is why you lose. Because the Files brothers.
Listen, it's not a elimination because they quit. It's not a elimination because they quit. End of story.
It's a filiquish.
Order.
Filiquation.
I have made my, what is it called? Decision?
Let me just say one more thing. Yeah. One more thing, Your Honor.
All right, wait, Brice, does your defense rest? I think.
Hold on, no, my defense does not rest, Your Honor.
We're never gonna get it. Go ahead.
He's
all right, Brooke.
Go. The same thing. He's already shown this. Asked and answered. Done. Turn it off.
You want to give up on the race?
We don't want to give up on the race, but we do not foresee that we'll be able to finish this challenge with this weather. We are quitting.
Order! We already saw this evidence. Order, Brooke. What do you have to find? What is your case, Brooke?
Brice, pause for a second.
Okay.
Court is back in session.
Okay, so the last thing I want to say in closing is, if Brian and Erica had not yet checked in, and Tiffany and Maria still had any chance of being in the race, and Phil came out and the exact same conversation happened, that's a quit, 100% a quit. But since you can't quit once there's no options left, it is a elimination. That is all I'm going to say about that.
Order!
We're ordered.
Sorry, I'm looking at these phrases here. Order! Wait, where was my other phrase? Order in the court. I am ready to rule! That's my phrase. I am ready to rule.
I gotta tell you,
let the defense stand.
Okay.
Nobody approach the bench. Objection sustained.
Wow, that was the correct use of none of those. Continue.
Hey, don't disrespect.
You're out of order, Brooke.
I'm already gonna lose. They're gonna side with you, so I might as well just say what I'm saying.
So, I have made my ruling. So, Brice started off talking about, yes, if a team verbally says they quit, is it a quit? Oh. But then Brooke says, how are they quitting if there are no more spots left to quit? Brice. Right? But what if it was a non-elimination leg?
But it wasn't.
Were they able to quit? Would they say, hey, you may go on to the next leg because it's non-elimination? It's a very confusing thing.
Yeah, they would have gotten.
But then we have David and Aubrey on our season. They couldn't finish that task. They could not get in the water because David unfortunately quit because he just couldn't swim. But what did he do after he quit? They told him to go straight to the mat, where they were eliminated.
Not a elimination.
My ruling is, if all the teams check in and Phil goes to you on the course, Doesn't matter if you quit. You could quit, and it's still an elimination. So my rule.
All right, I don't know what was happening over there, but listen, this ain't no court of
What
law.
was happening?
Okay,
Because I was winning. Bring
okay,
bring them
listen,
back. Bring them.
Michelle and Lewis won't be back.
Order!
Let the man. I'm sorry. You were saying what was the last thing?
It's a elimination in my book.
No.
It's a elimination.
No.
If Phil has to go out to the course and has to talk to you while you're at a task, it doesn't matter if you say you quit.
Guys.
He's still gonna eliminate you. Like, all right, you quit, you're eliminated.
I saw Brooke send a Venmo to Lewis. It popped up on his phone. I saw it.
And let's be clear. I don't take rulings from anybody that goes to parade shoeless. Okay? So I'll take that with a grain of salt. But
Might I just say you are welcome back anytime. I have never felt more vindicated, maybe in my life, than I do. And he's gonna get rid of me.
Well, all right, y'all. Thanks for coming.
We love you guys.
No, but Purple Pants Posse, this is your job. Please be our judge and jury on this. Was this a elimination or not?
I
Let
love
us
that
know
you
in the
wanted
comments.
Lewis to be the judge until he didn't agree with you. Now all of
I
a
wanted
sudden,
Michelle.
That's what you get.
It's fine. I still love Lewis.
But it's still, I guess it's a 2-2 tie if we think about it. So yeah, let the comments and the people decide. We should do
people
that.
have already
Put a
mentioned
poll.
that I was right, but Brice didn't like to listen to the people then either. But okay.
They also didn't hear the proof, the evidence.
Thank you.
I also put all the evidence in order and broke everything down.
Oh my God.
What happened to David and Aubrey?
You also said borrowing the bikes was a good idea.
Okay.
What does that have to do with
You wrote
anything?
that down. Okay.
You're wrong.
Anything with this
I think that was a
topic?
great idea. Yup.
But David and Aubrey, like they were also when you quit, you go meet up Phil. Phil didn't go to them.
Well,
Has there been any other quitting in Amazing Race history?
Oh gosh. Brice will tell you that season 5, Lance and Marshall quit, and they actually did quit. They actually did quit, but Phil came to them on the course.
It's elimination.
And so it's a thank you.
But Lewis, Brooke, and I
Brooke had
last
a
summer,
chat. Yes.
we had a whole thing, and we agreed that if elimination is when you are actively still doing the task.
We did
and
not agree
Phil
with that.
comes
Don't put words in my mouth.
the
That's
race
not what I
and
said.
elimination.
That's
That's a Phil elimination.
not right. Nope, that's not what I said. I just said when Phil comes to the race course to eliminate you, that's a full elimination. The end.
So so then let's pose this question to Lewis. So if you at an airport and Phil comes to you at an airport, is that a elimination?
Elimination.
Yes, that's on the race course.
Do you have shoes on right now? Do you have shoes on right now?
He doesn't. Don't show them your feet. Don't show them your feet.
Point exactly.
Please.
My point exactly. My point exactly. If you don't have shoes on while you record a podcast, I don't want to hear what you have to say.
I don't have shoes on either.
Okay. Well, listen.
I just want to thank the smartest, most beautiful inside and out guests. I'm going to say guests, even though I know Michelle doesn't agree with me.
Thank
She
you.
is very beautiful, that we have ever had on this podcast, because not only do they know the game, they have my heart.
My ice has melted. My ice melted, but I still love them. Okay. But no, seriously, thank you, Lewis and Michelle. This was so much fun. You always.
Side note: Brice is not going to air the last 14 minutes of the podcast. It's just going to mysteriously disappear.
Lies. But Lewis and Michelle, truly, we can't thank you enough. It's always so much fun when you join us. And we will be back next week covering episode 7. This has been your Purple Pants Podcast rewatch of Amazing Race season 15, episode 6. It was a elimination. It wasn't.
Love y'all. Order.
It's the Purple Pants Podcast. You better listen in public, might make your stomach hurt. Ooh. It's the Purple Pants Podcast. You're trying to unwind, you better get that box wine. It's the Purple Pants Podcast. You're trying to get your snack, you better hurry right back though. It's the Purple Pants. It's the Purple Pants.